Welcome back. Today is December the 23rd, and this is the 8th episode in this series, Countdown Till Christmas. Honestly, I don't have a lot for you today because this countdown towards Christmas also caught me in the countdown towards Christmas Eve, in which we normally had a evening get together with the family, but obviously this year that is not going to happen because of COVID. And unfortunately, my husband's father has turned quite ill in the last couple of days, so there won't be much to do about anything. We will probably simply go by there in the afternoon. My husband always goes by several times a day. Anyway, but since tomorrow is Christmas Eve, we really didn't want to leave them alone. I mean, we didn't want them feeling left alone, but I really don't know what's going to happen. I really can't say. Definitely there will be no festivities in terms of food or music or talking even. Most likely different family members will go by my in-laws' house, hopefully, at different times so that they won't be alone. And ultimately, probably somebody will have to spend the night there. We'll just have to see what happens. We're playing this day by day, second by second. So, in addition to that, I had a run to the supermarket, which was very stressful. And I also have spent most of my time here trying to put together a bracelet that my daughter-in-law brought back to me because it had broken and she wanted me to fix it. Now, I guess the same thing happens in any craft, but one of the worst things is having to fix something that someone else made, I think. I think. Especially in terms of beaded bracelets or beaded necklaces, because I have no idea how that was put together before that. And the person is telling you, no, but it wasn't like that. And I'm like, oh, well, obviously it wasn't like that because I never saw the original. And recreating something in its original state when you don't even have a picture to go from is kind of like a bit impossible. So, but I did spend a good deal of the afternoon putting that bracelet together. So I could show you my end product. I don't know if this is the way she wanted it. I even had beads left over, so, but you can take a look. So these were the beads that I was giving to work with. Obviously they weren't stranded. They were in this plastic bag over here, so it had fallen apart. Not due to bad craftsmanship or anything like that. It's just that it had been purchased a while back. So the elastic, doesn't last forever, even good elastic. And this that I bought definitely is not good elastic. I didn't have any elastic here because that's another thing, is I dislike very much working with elastic. I very rarely work with it because I haven't mastered the craft of choosing the right gauge of elastic, the right brand of elastic, the right type of elastic so that whatever I make won't break. And since it's always disturbing when you purchase something like this and it breaks, so I was only able to pick this up today at a local craft store, so I have no idea. It's pretty thin, so I did use it double. And these are the beads that I had left over. Well, you know, I was supposing sometimes when things fall apart, you have to pick them up from the floor and you lose beads. But the way she explained to me that it was put together originally didn't leave me much space to use up all those beads. And she has a very small wrist, so I couldn't use them all up because I feared that it would be too large. And I still don't know. She might come by and pick it up, and I'll find out that it was a useless effort. But anyway, well, not totally useless. At least she'll know how she doesn't want it. So that was my idea. I was kind of like to put all the beads. I shouldn't even try it on because this is not my size. It's probably about size 6 inches, and so yeah, not fitting me at all. We'll see. We'll see. It might just have been a fruitless effort and she might not like it at all, or maybe it'll fit her and she'll accept my version of the bracelet. So, one thing I did manage to do today was to make a batch of our typical coquito. This one is almond coquito. So it's got almond milk, coconut cream, and rum. A lot of spices. Nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, all the typical ginger, all the typical spices that I have mentioned before that we put into our Christmas time or holiday drinks and desserts. So yeah, I did that today. Kind of figured I was going to need it. I was going to need it to get through today and tomorrow. So, it is missing the almond flavored liquor. I usually use a brand that was suggested to me by my son-in-law. It's called Di Sarono in Spanish, with the Spanish accent at least. And but it was quite expensive when I saw it at the supermarket, and I wasn't going to go to a liquor store. So, yeah, I didn't do that. But, yeah, I kind of needed that because it does need that extra almond flavor that rum alone can't give it. But it'll do. Yes, it will do. I've got a little bit of a crafty experience that I'd like to share with you. It is about mending a Christmas present that went bad. And after that, I am just going to wrap it up for the day because I really haven't had much of a chance to organize anything more complex. So I'll show you this little crafty note and then I will wrap it up and say goodbye until tomorrow. That, if everything goes okay, should be my last episode of this series, counting down till Christmas. I tend to buy my Christmas gifts early sometimes, like when I see them immediately I'll buy them and put them away. So I purchased from a maker who's having a stash sale these socks, and I was in love with them. But when I opened them up to check them over before I gifted them, I found that one of the ends had not been hidden, and where that end was, there was a hole. So I didn't have yarn long enough to close up the hole, so what I decided to do was to take that end and needle felt it to a similar yarn that I had in my stash that was 100% wool, and the needle felting allowed the two ends to unite, and I was able to close up the hole. having a longer end, then I was able to sew my end in completely and hide that hole.